Hello again, and welcome to the third screencast on the Measuring Time Science Kit by STC. I'm Jose Rosa, Science Specialist at the Mason Pilot Elementary School in Roxbury. This screencast will go over lessons 4 through 6. Lesson 4, Counting Days, Devising a Calendar. Lesson 5, Predictions, Moon Phases. And Lesson 6, Observing Moon Phases. If you are short on time and are looking for ways to save time, no pun intended, lesson 4 can be skipped. Not ideal, but it might be necessary. Now, the main objectives of lesson 4 are to have students read about calendars from other cultures, design and construct their own calendars, and discuss different ways that they have used to measure time in the past. So to create the calendar, students draw on a 60 centimeter strip of adding machine paper. Each student gets one sheet. To make the calendars, students are then record the previous 5 days in their sheets and make predictions about the upcoming 5 days. As a final note on lesson 4, there's a reading selection on early calendars. And as a side note, the unit has some nice social studies and history connections. Now, this is an example of student work. This is the predicted phase calendar, and this is the actual calendar based on observations. A few notes on the best times to observe moon phases. When the moon is near its first quarter or last quarter phase, the moon is visible during the school day. At last quarter, the moon is visible until midday. At first quarter, the moon is visible after midday, and at full moon, the moon is visible as the sun sets. Which leads me to lesson 6. Now, it's suggested that you skip several days or you wait several days after lesson 5 to do lesson 6. That way, students have had several days to watch and observe the moon phases. Lesson 6, by the way, uses small beads and flashlights as models of the moon, earth, and sun relationships. Now, to be honest, this lesson is difficult for students to truly understand. For starters, it is very abstract. It is a very abstract concept to grasp. If you look at the picture, students work in teams and manipulate the materials in an effort to reproduce the moon phases. The difficulty lies in the fact that each student has a different visual perspective. Hence, you must remind students that the person holding the bead or the moon represents the earth. And if it is that student's perspective, and it's that student's perspective that determines or sees the current phase. The bottom line is that students need to understand that the moon phases follow a familiar, observable, and repeating pattern. It goes from new moon, crescent moon, quarter moon, gibbous moon, full moon, gibbous again, then quarter again, the crescent, and then it's a new moon again. Here's some sample pictures according to the unit on how the students' records of the flashlight and bead activity should look like. Now, my students, like I said, they have a hard time understanding what the orientations of the different materials are. They had a hard time interpreting a three-dimensional model into a two-dimensional drawing, basically. And again, the phases of the moon, new, then waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent. Waxing, of course, means getting bigger. Waning means getting smaller. And that's it for this screencast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. Look for my next one where I'll go over lessons 7 through 9. And remember to think about a common theme. On my last screencast, we'll have questions based on my background. So pay attention to that. Until then, take care.